Hi, welcome to PUC first year students. We are studying the chapter number 3, that is organization of data. Already we have studied the meaning of variables, continuous variables and discrete variables and their examples. But today we shall discuss about the frequency distribution. In organization of data, today let us study the frequency distribution. You have to understand the meaning of frequency distribution and what do you mean by frequency and class frequency and class limits and what do you mean by upper class limits and what do you mean by lower class limits and class interval or class width or class midpoint or class mark and their formula, and also the frequency chart, how to find out the class mark and frequency and lower class limits and the upper class limits and the mid class and the class marks. So today we have to understand the meaning of first the frequency distribution. And you have to remember it comes in 1 marks or 2 marks or generally in 4-5 marks such together. So you have to understand the meaning of frequency distribution. What do you mean by frequency distribution? The frequency distribution is a systematic presentation of values taken by variables along with their frequency is called the frequency distribution. Once again, the frequency distribution, it is a distribution is a systematic presentation of values taken by the variables along with their frequency is called as the frequency distribution. Once again, the frequency distribution is a systematic presentation of values taken by the variables along with their frequency. It is called as the frequency distribution. Frequency distribution. Keep remember. And what do you mean by frequency? Frequency. The frequency refers to a number of times observations repeated. The frequency, you have clear the meaning of what do you mean frequency. Frequency refers to the number of times the an observation repeated. It is called as the frequency. Once again, the frequency refers to the number of times an observation repeated. It is called as the frequency. And the next question is class frequency. What do you mean by class frequency? The class frequency is the number of observations corresponding to a particular class. Once again, class frequency, it is the number of observations or corresponding to a particular class is called as the class frequency. Class frequency. And what is class limits? What is class limits? The class limits are the two ends of a class. The class limits are two ends of a class. It is called as the class limits. Once again, class limits are the two ends of the class. It is called as the class limits. And what is upper class limits? What is upper class limits? The upper class limit is the highest value of the class. It is the highest value of the class. It is called as the upper class limits. What is upper class limits? Keep remember, what is upper class limits? Upper class limit, it is the highest value of the class is called the upper class limits. And what is lower class limits? Lower class limit is the lowest value of the class. It is lowest value of the class. It is called as the lower or lower class limit. Once again, lower class limit is the lowest value of the class is called as the lowest class or lower class limits. And what do you mean class interval or class width? Class interval or class width, it is the difference between upper limits of class and the lower limits of class. Upper class limits and the lower class limits. It is the interval. It is the interval of class width. It is the middle. It is the difference between upper class limits and the lower class limits. It is called as the class interval or class width. And the last class midpoint. Class midpoint or class mark. Class midpoint or class mark. It is the middle values. It is the middle value of the class. It is the middle value of the class. It has a formula. The formula is class mark is equal to upper class limit plus lower class limit divided by 2. The class midpoint or class mark is the middle value of a class. The class mark is equal to the upper class limit plus lower class limit divided by 2. For example, the example is given in the chart or in the column. The first column indicates the class, second column indicates the frequency, and third column indicates the lower class limits, and fourth column indicates the upper class limits, and the last column indicates the class marks. These are the five columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. Indicates the class mark, frequency, lower class, upper class, and the class marks. In column class marks, it is 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, 60 to 70 is the class mark. And frequency 10, 15, 40, 45. It is the frequency. And the lower class limits. Lower class limits meaning lower class limits. It is the lowest value of the class. Lowest value means 30, 40, 50, 60. Lowest. You put the lowest class limits. 30, 40, 50, 50, 60, 60. It is the lower class limits. Lower class limits means it is the lowest value of the class. You put there is unsolicited data 30, 40, 50, 60. 30, 40, 50, 60. It is the lowest class limits. And upper class limits means 40, 50, 60, 70. It is 40, 50, 60, 70. Is it? 40, 40, 50, 50, 60, 60, 70, 70. It is the upper class limits. And now we have to find out the class mark. How to find out the class mark? You see here 40 plus 30 is equal to 70. 70 is divided by 2. It is half of 70 is 35. It is the half of 70 is 35. It is the class mark. And 50 plus 40. 50 plus 40 is equal to 90. divided by 2 is equal to 45. Divided by 2 is equal to 45. And the class 50 to 60, lower class and the upper class, lowest class and the upper class. 60 plus 50 is equal to 110. 110 divided by 2 is equal to 55. 110 divided by 2 is equal to 55. And last 60 plus 70 is equal to 130. 60 plus 70. Here, how much? 130. 130 divided by 2 is equal to 65. It is the class interval frequency, lower class limits and the upper class limits and the class mark. So you have to find out the class mark like this. You have to explain and do understand well and remember it till examination, and you write the meaning of all these questions. So you have to once again understood what do you mean by frequency distribution, what is frequency, and what do you mean by class frequency, class limits, and what do you mean by upper class limits, and what do you mean by lower class limits, and class interval or class middle width, and the class midpoint or the class mark, and give the formula and find out the upper class limits and lower class limits and the class marks. So you have to study well. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Already you are know my good name. So keep remember and study hard, and all the best of you. Thank you.